Joining me right now is Texas Congressman, House Financial Services Committee member Roger Williams. Congressman, it's always a pleasure to see you. Your reaction to all of this?
Well, I'll tell you, it's just a situation that the shame of it is that this could be over with right now if Nancy Pelosi would actually come and negotiate. We know back in '06 and even with the Obama administration that they were all for everything the president's talking about, but all of a sudden they're not for it, and I'm afraid it's because they just don't want President Trump to succeed. So it needs to come to an end. I'm an employer, and people that work need to be paid.
Yeah, but what is Plan B here? I mean, we now have seen Nancy Pelosi dig in. She's not changing her mind. She's going to dig in, and even though she has voted for a border wall twice before, even though there is already 30% of the southern border with a wall, which she voted for, and that's not immoral. She says it is immoral to have even more of that wall. So if you're going to go head-to-head with your colleagues on the left for the next 2 years, nothing gets done. I mean, do you have a Plan B to get out of this?
Well, you know, I agree totally with you. We need to do something, but she does need to come to the table. But I think that, you know, I feel like being from Texas and very familiar with the border, you know, we could have 5,000 more Border Patrol. We could improve the ports and of entry so people can do it right. There's a lot of things we can do, but at the same time, you can't do it without the other side coming to the table. And I guess you can. The president talks about national emergency. I'm not necessarily for that right now, but I think we need to see what happens the next couple of weeks and see if the other side will begin to talk. We don't even know what they want. We know they'll give us $1 for the wall, which is ridiculous. But you also have in her, she's holding her ground. But I think we all understand President Trump will certainly hold his ground.
So do you think the president, given the fact that he's the president, he's going to have to be the one to blink here?
Well, I don't know if the term blink. I mean, he's put an offer on the table. He's willing to negotiate. And, you know, I'm a business guy, and you all talk about business all the time. The world deals with negotiation. You got two of the most powerful people in the world that won't even sit down and talk.
Yeah.
That's holding this country hostage.
The sentiment for the wall appears to be favoring Republicans. When you look at independents, you've got a recent ABC Washington Post poll showing that support for the wall from independents is rising compared to a year ago. So it feels like the American people are hearing the argument. Do you think at some point the people will appeal to the Democratic leadership? I mean, is this going to hurt the Democrats?
Well, I think eventually it is. You see now the polls are moving to where people see the problems we have on the border. It's not necessarily the people that want to come over here, but you've got the drugs that you report about all the time and all the humanitarian crisis we have. People begin to see that, and I have friends on the other side of the aisle that begin to see it too, and I think they even want something done. So I think the pressure can come from within to sit down and let's see what we can come up with. Cut the deal in half, for heaven's sakes, and see where we stand.
Yeah.
But let's not hold everybody hostage like's happening now.
Let me ask you about the economy impact. Of course, you and your colleagues passed a tax cut plan which did move the needle in terms of economic growth. Last year, freshman Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says she's going to be joining the Financial Services Committee, which you sit on. We know that she'd like to see 70% tax rates for the high end, for the top earners. It's at 37% right now, right? So that's a significant move there. What will she bring to the table, and how are you going to respond to her new ideas on taxes?
Well, I'm not sure what she brings. I know she has. I don't think she has any business experience. I've been in business 50 years, and I've seen rates at 0, rates at 20. I've paid high tax rates. The tax cuts have worked. We're putting people to work. We know we have more jobs than people. I'm a Main Street business guy. I employ several hundred people. Main Street feels good about where they're heading. So hopefully we'll have some good dialogue on free markets, capitalism, entrepreneurship, and giving the money back to the people, not the federal government, when we start our hearings again.
But what are you seeing from your colleagues on the left? There's this big debate, in fact, about the party and its direction. You've got somebody like an AOC who's leaning all the way to the left with things like Medicare for all, 70% tax rates, and then you've got more moderates in the party. Who's winning?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I focus on what we're doing on our side, but it looks like they do have some fractions in their party that they're going to have to address, and hopefully they will. But, you know, I mean, I don't think America's going far, far left. America wants less government. America wants return on investment. America wants opportunity. America wants happiness. And all this dialogue that's happening up here does not add to that. So I hope that we can sit down and have good conversation on what makes America work and how strong American people are.
Are you worried that all of the success you've been able to have in terms of economic growth will go away as a result of these new ideas from the left and, of course, significantly, this government shutdown?
Well, I hope it doesn't go away. I don't think the shutdown will do that. Well, that's what the debate
we're already
up here.
seeing estimates come down on the economy, Congressman, as a result of this shutdown. We know eventually we're going to see an impact to the economy. Are you not expecting that? I mean, it's 26 days.
Well, no, I agree. I mean, we're seeing it. I see it in my automotive business, but I do think that we can get that back if we have negotiations and get this put together and focus on what we've done with empowering Main Street and putting the money in the hands of the people and talking about the things that make America work. So, yes, the longer it goes, it's going to affect everybody. That's why we need to sit down and talk about it.
Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Roger Williams joining us there.